What's going on, guys? Josh here from Momentum Productions, and today I'm going to show you how to get epic handheld shots, no gimbal needed. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing the Aperture 120D Mark II, which is actually this light right behind me, and we're going to be working on a review video for it. Now, I'm going to be using my Sony A9, and I'm going to be completely 100% handheld for all of the beauty shots of this LED light. So all of the pans, all of the tilts, all of it's going to be handheld. There are two major things you have to know. It's going to be shot at 120 frames per second for those utmost beautiful, smooth gliding shots, for those beautiful tilts, those beautiful pans, and so on. Now, a lot of you are probably going to be saying, oh, 120 frames per second is the secret to getting smooth handheld shots. No, that is not the case. That just helps out a little bit. A lot of it has to do with how you hold the camera, how you move your camera, and actually how you move your body. All right, let me show you what I'm talking about. So basically what's gonna happen is I wanna start off by shooting a cool shot of the Aperture logo and the 120D Mark II logo. So I'm gonna start with the side of the light. I'm gonna zoom all the way in. I'm using a Zeiss 24-70 lens, and I'm gonna angle the light just a little bit just so I can actually get a better view of it. All right, so we're gonna be doing a little bit of a POV turn, or a James Matthews shot, that's what I like to call them. And we're just gonna go down the light. Now right now I'm shooting this in autofocus, and then I'm gonna switch over to manual focus. I want you guys to see the difference on how much better you can actually get these shots in manual focus. So I'm gonna switch over to manual focus. And I'm just going to pull focus as I go down the light. See, with manual focus, you can do so much more because things will go in and out of focus, and it makes the shot so much more dynamic. And what I did here in the background, I have a few practicals set up. I also have a Fresnel light, a KTV Boltzmann 55 watt Fresnel, and that's what's gonna get us really nice lens flares. So let's check it out. I'm gonna zoom in as much as I can, that way the background will be blurred out. And we're just gonna have our elbows tucked into our sides here. We're gonna be curled up like a little ball, and we're gonna lean. That subtle parallax shot, that pan, it does a lot. I have my key right here to light up all the spots that is not lit up by the overhead light right up there. Okay, so let's do that again. It's like a subtle reveal of the Fresnel light. It adds that nice little magical touch. Back up actually just a little bit. Having a proper foundation on the ground is also extremely important. Now we're gonna work on a tilt and pan. So we're gonna start low, we're gonna go up, pan, and tilt. All right, elbows still remain to my sides. I'm holding the camera with two hands, that's also very important. One goes right under the lens, the other one holds the grip of the body of the camera. And that's how we're gonna get those really stable shots. All right, let's give it a shot. So tilting up, panning at the same time, boom, boom. And that Fresnel light just provides us with those beautiful lens flares. And we get some nice details of the light as well. Now, I wanted the Fresnel light to match with my practicals that are in the background. I actually have an Edison bulb in the back, those old-fashioned lights. I'll leave links to those lights in the description box below because those are exceptional lights for practical lighting. So check out the links below if you want to see what lights I'm using in this video. I know the lighting on me is not perfect. It's because it's meant for this light, so my face might be slightly overexposed, so I do apologize for that. But okay, so we got a nice full body shot of the light. Now I want to get the overhead, the grill of the light because we can see some of the internal components and all that other good stuff. And then we're gonna move to the front of the light where the LED chip is. All right, so let's do that. I'm gonna turn the light just a little bit. And this is gonna be a really nice shot because Aperture makes their lights out of aluminum and they showcase that a lot in their product shots. So I'm gonna do that in my video as well. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna zoom all the way in just so we get as much detail as possible. You wanna set your focus to a specific point. For example, I want it to start up right up here. I use focus peaking to help guide me. Now focus peaking is not 100% accurate, but I do like to use it because it's a very quick way of how to judge focus for the most part. So I'm gonna start up with these shapes up here and I'm just gonna slowly start tilting and moving backwards. So again, try to keep your body as tight as possible. Sometimes I forget to do so myself. Tilt down, pull back. Very nice. And you can do it again, going up. You want to make sure that your shot is symmetrical, so I'm trying to keep it in the center as best as I can. Now I want to continue getting some cool low angle shots of the light because that is what makes it pretty epic. And again, we want to capture those lens flares. So let's give it a shot. Remember, you want to have a solid foundation on the ground. We're not taking any steps during these shots. We're just leaning side to side or leaning front to back, basically. And just that glow of the Fresnel, it looks so good. I really like using tungsten lights for these types of shots because it really just simulates a warm color. A warm glow, actually. Man, that looks great. And we're showcasing the yoke of the light. Now to focus on the fan, I tilted the light down. And if you notice, we have the Fresnel light peeking in the back. And this is gonna get those beautiful, warm flares. All right, we're still in manual focus, so let me adjust it a little bit. We're gonna add a nice smooth tilt. And the trick is to reveal the Fresnel because we don't wanna start off with the Fresnel because it might be too blinding and just doesn't look too great. But if we only have it for like a second or two, it's gonna give us those beautiful glowy shots. Also, I wanna mention that I intensified the brightness of the key light. That way we see more of the heatsink. All right, so keep that in mind. Whenever you want to shoot different parts of a product, you might have to switch your lighting around. And feel free to add more of those POV/rolling shots. James Matthews, it's because of you, buddy. So this is just something to think about in your videos. It's more engaging for the audience and probably even more fun to watch. So now I want to showcase the LED chip on the front of the light. So I'm going to readjust my Fresnel backlight here and even move the key around just a little bit and basically just play around with your lighting until you're really happy with how the shot looks. So don't forget, each different part of a product like this might need a setup change. So move your lights around, your camera, and so on. So I moved the lights around and now I'm just gonna play around with the shot to see what we can get here. Going in and out of focus is a great technique to make a much more engaging shot too. So I'm not really too happy. I get too much glare from this overhead softbox, so I'm probably gonna turn that off and I'm gonna reposition the Fresnel light in the back. So let's give that a shot. Cool, so now we're focused on the LED chip right here. I'm gonna try and do a tilt and another shot where I do a quarter orbit. So let's see how that comes out and let's see if we like the lighting. And yes, you can use a tripod to get those fluid tilts and pans, but if you want to decrease your setup time, you don't want to use any equipment that you don't really need. And for these types of shots, since we're shooting in 120 frames per second, I really think that I can get away without using a tripod. All right, so let's see what we can do with some pans here and some more complicated shots. Again, we're getting that nice glow from the Fresnel. And I want to use the overhead light. I'm just gonna decrease the brightness. So let's give that a shot. So I adjusted the brightness of the overhead light and I repositioned the product light just a little bit. I tilted it down a little bit more just so I can see more of the LED chip. So let's see what we can come up with here. Remember, blurry backgrounds are really nice to have, especially with practical lights. Always try to use a shallow depth of field whenever you're trying to focus on a specific product or a specific part of a product. This will eliminate a lot of distraction and just looks much more cinematic. Also, you don't have to have a studio to do demo shots of products like this. I'm shooting it in my home, and I think the shots are coming out pretty good for a really nice review video. Continue playing around with the shots and just mess around with the lighting, see what you can come up with. Here's a low angle shot I want to do. Cool, let's adjust focus. Nice. And get close. Don't forget to focus on the glow of the backlight and the practical lights. And just like that, guys, that's what goes into shooting nice product videos. Remember, capture lots of details. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a big like and subscribe with those notifications turned on, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!